Hi everyone. Good afternoon. Hope I'm audible clearly to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
Got
sir.
clear.
I would briefly take you through the entire process. I'll just take you through the in a practical way. I'll show you the platform. So Salim sir is already part of the platform, so I can show it through his portal very easily. Okay. So let me just show you briefly before that what all things are there in this program. Basic introduction about this program. So this program is called as Ignite for Entrepreneurs. So program name is Ignite for Entrepreneurs. Okay. So as you know, Ignite has various versions. Okay. This is a version that we give when the students have to do it in their own self-serve manner. Okay, that's the purpose of this program. So it's a kind of MOOC program. Okay, self-serve program, right? So most, in fact almost all the learning students will do it themselves. Okay, as a faculty we only have to guide them in certain steps. Okay, the first step as a faculty we'll have to guide them is registration. Okay, registration and onboarding to platform. Okay, that's the first step that we'll have to guide them to. Okay, second step that we'll have to guide them is where we have to tell them how to create venture on the platform. Okay, in fact once they register and onboard themselves to the platform, if wanted you can give them also a platform walkthrough, which I will show you today, right? If you want, I would add that also as a step. Give them a platform walkthrough. I'll also show you that same walkthrough. Third step, tell them to create ventures. Okay, create ventures, which is a group activity. Okay, yeah. Fourth step that we'll all as a faculty will have to do is make them do venture activities. Okay. Okay, venture activity. Now you don't have to do anything with for them. You have to just tell them complete your venture activity module wise, lesson wise. Okay, so they have to complete venture activity. And fifth thing that they have to complete for this program is after venture activity, you have to release milestones. Okay, that as a faculty we'll have to do is release milestone. Okay, I would say guidance or follow up, release milestones. Okay, now release milestones, there are 3 milestones. Milestone 1 to 3. Okay, and finally tell them final submission and certification. Okay, educate them about it. So this is only our involvement as a faculty. Okay, I would say final submission, evaluation and certification. In fact, evaluation happens by AI also, but this is their part. So this is majoritively our part in this, right? So we are actually making them do this 10 a few steps only. Okay, that's our responsibility. So starting with the first step, I'll tell you how do they do the registration and onboarding to the platform. I'll also show you the platform walkthrough. I'll also show you how to create ventures, do venture activity on the platform. I'll show you that. And how do you as a faculty release milestone? I'll show you that. Okay. And finally, how to get the final submission done from the students. Okay. So these are the things I will show you one by one. Okay. So our faculty intervention is only required in the 6 steps only. Okay. If I have to summarize the entire thing. Okay. Now, when it comes to the program, right, as a faculty you should be able to see this. Now Salim sir would be able to see this at JPR, but let's say if Salim sir wants more faculties to be added to this cohort, I can do that. Okay, if you are willing. Same way, Neeraj sir, you'll be able to see a cohort dashboard like this once you log in as a faculty. And if you also want more faculties to get involved, we can add them. Okay, so this dashboard will be visible to you as a faculty. This is a cohort faculty dashboard. Okay. So we have given access to Neeraj sir at Bansal Institute and Salim sir at JPR Institute. Okay. So you can see the cohort is named like this, MOOC JPR Chennai. Okay. So this is how the cohort is named. Okay, JPR Institute of Technology, Chennai. The same way for Bansal Institute, it will be named like that, right? Now, so when I click on this cohort, I can see some informations. This is the cohort dashboard. Okay, this is the cohort dashboard. If you see this cohort dashboard here, you have basic informations here like what is the name of the cohort, what's the course name, right? And basically how many students are still now registered, those informations are visible here. How many ventures are created? Okay, so 10 ventures are already created by students also, so they have discovered it themselves. And you can see scorecard once the students start taking up quiz, right? Their scorecards you can see here. You can view the complete scorecard here. Okay, if you click here, you can see the complete scorecard here. That means, each student, have they attempted, not attempted, and if they have attempted, what is the score that they have got, right? You can also download this performance as an Excel sheet. Okay, if you want to map it to your internal exam marks and all, you can do that. Okay. So I'm just showing you the possibilities of the platform. General information, here is a faculty, Salim Nawaz sir is a faculty I have added. But if sir wants to add more faculties, we can do that. Okay. So that can happen by clicking on this add faculty option and you can add more faculties. If you can give me a list of faculty name, their phone number and their email ID who need to be added, I can add them and then Salim sir can see them here and add them to the cohort. Okay, for example, if I want to add Ajay to my cohort, I can click on Ajay and Ajay becomes part of this cohort as a faculty. Okay, release milestone. Now, as I said, release milestone. Now, release milestone is basically you need to release the milestone in a phased manner. So the first release of the milestone should ideally happen after 4 weeks from the course begins. Okay. Second release of the milestone should happen after 7 weeks. And third milestone should be released after 10 weeks. Okay. So you can actually give an idea to students that you are going to release this milestone on this date, or you can even release it in advance. How you can release it? For example, I'm going to just release milestone 1, let's say. Okay. If I go for release date, I can, let's say, so Salim says the college has started, right? With the course already, students have started, right? So can I say safely after 1 month we can release milestone 1? Maybe. Yeah. So let's say on 3rd of September, sir is going to release milestone 1. And due date, give at least 1 week's time for the due date after that. Okay. If 3rd you are releasing, give due date as 10th of September, give at the end of the day. So 23:59 is the time. Once you give that, release. Once I release it, the milestone will get released. Okay. But it will show up for students only on 3rd of September. Okay. Because your release date is 3rd September. For students, it will not show up anything right now. It will show up for them only on 3rd September. So this is how you release the milestone. Okay. So like this, you can release milestone 2, milestone 3. Okay. Now, ventures. Now here students have already created the venture. So you can see venture information, right? So, and who have created this venture? For example, if you want to see MLS Enterprises, click on it and you will see Subhasri and Lakshita Rajaram have created this venture. The basic details about their venture, all these things are available on the top. Okay. So, if you want to see the progress of those students with respect to their venture journey, you can click on this venture journey option on the right and it will show up. If they have done some venture activities, it will show up. But if they have not started with the venture activity, that will also show up. So as a faculty, you can warn them, right? As a group, as a faculty, if you want to see, cohort performance, you can see this venture performance and tell them, see, this ventures, nothing has been started yet. Why not you start now, right? And complete your venture activity. So you can see the progress from here. Okay, venture journey. Now, so that's about the basic platform details, cohort ventures, right? Then we have cohort members. So cohort members have information regarding all the students who have registered. So there are 526 students who have registered here. So all those students' details are visible here. Manage students will tell you how many students have got the invite and got onboarded to the platform. So you can see Roshni, Parmeshwari, all these students have received the invite mail and opened it, logged into the platform successfully. Whereas these requests, 706 requests, are students who have received the invite but are still not opened that mail or onboarded themselves to the platform. Okay, so their mail IDs are here. Okay, now let's say Gracelyn comes to you and says, I have not received the email. If you want, you can even resend the request from here. Okay, so that's how it happens. Okay, great. So this is the platform information. You have all these details on the platform. If you wish to personally teach any specific session, you have faculty resources here. If you click on this faculty resources, a tab opens up and there are resources here which you can use to teach the students. Okay, module wise, module 1, module 2, module 3, module 4. If you click on module 1, you will see for lesson 1, there's a PPT. Okay, you can preview it from here or you can download the PPT and teach also. Mostly you will not be teaching this because it is self-serve program, but in case if you wish to teach, even then PPTs are available here. Okay, yeah. If you want to change any cohort related detail, for example, you say 3 members a team is less. I want 4-member team, 5-member, though we highly recommend let it be 3-member team. But if you want more number of people in the team, then click on edit cohort and increase the number of team members here. This 3, you can make it as 4 or 5 or 6, whatever it is, right? Right now I'm keeping it 3 only because that's the standard size. Okay. Okay. So these are the details that you have on the faculty side of the dashboard. Now let's say one student comes to you and says, sir, I have not got the mail. And somehow you find here also his mail ID is not here or his mail ID was given wrongly. You as a faculty can send an email to that student. Okay. So I'm just going to use a demo mail ID and show you how to do that. So here is invite students. Click on invite students. Type the mail ID of that student. Send invite. Okay. Once you send the invite, the student gets an email. Okay. Now I'm using a disposable mail ID, York mail, just to demo this. So you can see here the student has got the mail like this. Okay. In the Gmail, it will look much more colorful. Here it is a disposable mail ID, so it looks very plain. Okay. So this is how the students will get the mail. Okay. Now this mail is what you should ask the students to find with the subject, get ready to soar. Your entrepreneurial journey with Wadhwani Global Learning starts now. Or look for a mail from no reply at wfglobal.org. The reason I'm saying is sometimes students, what do is they in their mail inbox has a lot of mails, so they don't recognize this mail, or sometimes because it's a system generated mail like no reply dot at wfglobal.org, right? It sometimes go and sits in the promotions tab or social tab. Okay, it inadvertently would do that because your Gmail feels it's an advertisement or kind of message, so it will go into promotion or social tab. So you have to tell the students to check all their inboxes, okay, for this mail, or just type in the search bar no reply at wfglobal.org and they should definitely find it if they type this. Okay. And in case if even after that they have not got it, then you can definitely type their email ID here. For example, you are saying, okay, right? You can type the email ID here and hit send invite. Okay. Okay, great. So this is platform related information. Now, once a student gets the invite, now I'll show you the registration process, the first step. Okay. So as we had mentioned, step 1, registration and onboarding to platform. How will this happen? Let me guide you about it. So registration and onboarding to the platform, how will this happen? You have to go tell the students to open this mail. Click on the first step. Okay, so there are 3-step process. The first step, in fact, 2 steps are enough. The first step, get started. Now here's a word of caution. I am pretty sure more than 70% of your students will do this process on their mobile phone. I would highly encourage, if it is in your power, to tell them to do it on their laptop or desktop. Okay. But if they're going to do this program mostly through their phone, they can absolutely do it, no issues. But the problem is when they click this links, right? Usually this link opens up in their Gmail's extension. So any backclick will lead them back into the Gmail inbox and they don't know which portal platform did I open. I don't know the login ID. Like, they'll get lost. Okay. So if they're opening it in the mobile phone, tell the students to long press on this get started option. Long press and open the link in a browser. Like open the link in a browser. So they can do that, or they can copy the link and open it in a browser, however, right? So if you are doing it on desktop and laptop, it is not a problem, because when you click on it, it will open it in a new tab only. Okay. Yeah. So let me just close this. So tell them to click on this get started option. Once they click on this get started option, they'll end up on a page like this where they have to click on login. So you can see on the top login. And once they click on the login, they'll get an option called program member here. If they click on program member here, now they have an option to continue with Google. Most of the students are very tempted to go and continue with Google. Tell them not to do that, right? Tell them to type their email ID. Now the email ID I am using here is this. So let me just copy paste that. Type the email ID, and for the password, which they have not set till now, use a step 2 one-time password. For example, I have got here a one-time password of 1009. So I'll go here and use that as my step 2. Okay. In password, I'll put the OTP. Once I put the OTP, now I can sign in. Okay. I can click sign in. But once I click sign in, it will tell me to add a new password. Now this is the password that I'll use for all my future login. Okay. So I'm setting a password. It can be a combination of any alphabet and number. Okay. Tell them to click on the consent box and hit confirm password. Okay. Now once this is done, you get first name, last name, basically, right? Whatever is your first name, last name, country, of course, we'll all put India. City, of course, whichever city you're from, right? Chennai or wherever you're from. Phone number, of course, you'll put your WhatsApp number. As a student, tell them to put their WhatsApp number, because they'll get notification on their WhatsApp. Rest of the thing, tell them to leave as it is. Though they can go and select language, but other languages, I don't believe would be relevant to them. Profile type, tell them to keep it as exploring a new venture only. Okay. And tell them to hit submit. Now, once they hit submit here, they will go to a homepage which they can see like this, right? Ignite for Entrepreneurs India. Right? Now, if they are able to see this homepage, right? If they're able to see this homepage, they have come to the right place. Okay, they have come to the right place. They don't have to go anywhere else. If they see this homepage, they have come to the right place. Okay, but if they're not able to see this homepage, then there is something wrong. Okay, if they are not able to see Ignite for Entrepreneurs India, there's something. In that case, connect with me. I'll sort out the issues. Okay, case by case. So click on, once they come to this homepage, it's pretty evident. They have to click on go to course. Now comes the second step. Okay, where I'll give you the platform walkthrough. Okay, so I believe registration and onboarding to the platform is clear. I'll also share some recordings. Don't worry for this process. Platform walkthrough, that is what I will do now. So the platform, as you can see, this is the homepage. There are mentors list and all given down, but tell the students not to connect with mentors until they have completed the entire program, because it will not make any sense. So what should be relevant to them mostly is on the top. So click on go to course. Once they click on go to course, they have 4 tabs here: overview, course content, venture journey, performance. Okay. Overview is basic objective outcome of the program. Okay, how many week program it is, what will be the outcome of this program, all those things. Second tab here is course content. Okay, so course content is where they have to consume all the content. Now when I say all the content, 100% of the content. Right now on the top right, you can see 0% progress and 0 of 10 assessments. Right? So this is because I have not started the program. But the moment I start engaging with the platform, for example, module 0, L0 is lesson 0. It's basic orientation. I can click on this conceptual video, and if you ever see this problem, just give a refresh and it should come. Now here, there are guideline videos right from the beginning, because it's a self-serve program. So here if you click, here's my colleague Dr. Sujata, who will basically
In
explain
today's
about
session,
the entire
we
program.
would try to make
Okay.
you so
So she'll
this
basically
program
inspire the students initially, and she'll also take them through the platform and all those things, right? She'll do that. So that's Dr. Sujata, and it's all the videos are short. Only these first videos are around 18 minutes, 1 8 minute, but most of the videos are shorter only. Okay. So she will do that basic
appreciate
inspiration
you.
work, and later on, the students can go ahead. Now, so there is lesson orientation, that is module 0, lesson 0 content, and then there is lesson content. If you click on this concept lecture, it is basically the lecture note that the student can have, basically concept notes that the student can have and read from the platform. Okay. Now, here it is more interactive. So the moment they start, if they click on start, they will get this one more video where, welcome to the program, and
Just so the narrative for
all those details will be there. If they click on continue, the details about their faculties would be there, right? Then uh, once that is done, then there will be details about the program,
success
learning
in different
objectives,
fields.
right? Like this, they have this complete, and as even they keep completing, they can also see the progress here, right? As even they keep completing, right? Now, once they complete this data, they can go back here, click on course content, and you can see there's a green tick mark that comes here. Yeah. So this green tick mark notifies that they have completed this part of the program. Okay. This green tick mark will tell they have completed this part of the program. Okay. So that's what this green tick mark is about, right? And you can see on the top, this 1% overall progress also mentions that they have completed 1% of the program. Like this, as even they keep doing the program. Now, when they go to lesson 1, entrepreneurial leadership, you can see this. Again, here there is lesson orientation content on the top, and there are lesson content. Okay. So like this, you have in every module. Then come to module 1. Right? Module 1 will have lesson 1, develop macro industry perspective. So module 1 is about problem identification. It has lessons on micro industry perspective, assemble real world problem, analyze problem. There are 3 lessons. So once they take the lesson 1, they can have pre-session content kind of content here. They can have session content, lesson content. Then they can have baseline survey, which everybody has to do mandatorily. Wherever this mandatory is written, it is not optional. They have to do this activity, otherwise they cannot complete the program. So for example, here baseline survey is there. There is passion CV. All these activities they have to do. There's a tool industry case study. So there are some tools also. So these tools are kept there in such a way that they can, uh, in an interactive way or in much more in-depth way, in the field of their interest, they can deep dive and understand or align themselves or their startup idea to a specific industry or domain. That's particularly why we have this tool industry case study one mentioned here. If they click here on this tool, 16 industries will open up for them. Industries such as health, food, clothing, shelter, mobility, deep tech, manufacturing, business service. They can click here and can become full screen. And any industry of their choice, they can go and deep dive. For example, they are interested in education industry. They can click on education industry, and there will be growth outlook, facts, trends, startups, all these things mentioned about this industry. Okay. So there are some tools like this also. Okay. Then there is a baseline survey. Now, this is an important thing. There are 2 activities which they do. If they do not do, they cannot create venture at all. Okay. Let me show you why. If you come to the venture journey, it will say complete your passion CV to enable team creation. Okay. It is not locked. It is already locked. So create your team is locked. So what will it complete your passion CV? So how to complete passion CV? You can click here and go also, or you can go to course content and complete passion CV in module 1, lesson 1. It is there. Okay. Now, okay, you'll think, okay, I have to complete passion CV, but when you go and try to complete passion CV directly, it will tell you to complete baseline survey first. So it is all interconnected. So students, if so, not available unless the activity baseline survey is done. Baseline survey is just the activity before this. So it's all interconnected. So tell the students consumption of the content on the platform is important. They cannot skip it. They cannot do one activity here, there, and it will not allow them to go ahead like that. Okay. So entrepreneurship baseline survey, there are some 8 questions asked. Very simple. Tell the student, if they're graduate students, tell them to select graduate, if they're studying, whatever is the options that they want from here, they can select and submit. Okay. Baseline survey is basically trying to mark up how students are entering into the program. Now, once baseline survey is done, passion CV is an activity where they have to list their talents, their gifts, their strengths, just to see if that can align with their startup also. Okay, just to see if that can align with their startup also. So here, when I say passion CV, this link comes up, this arrow button, if you click on it, you get this click to access this link. Once you open up this link, it will open up in a new tab. It's like a basic CV that they're filling, right? Which basically informs, or they can self-reflect on what are their passion, deep interest. Click on start now. Click on start now. Tell them to put their first name, last name, right? Email ID, right? Any mail ID they can put. Whatever is their major, whatever is their interest, blah blah blah, right? Whichever industry they're interested in. Now I'm putting randomly, but they can fill this diligently and hit submit. Once they hit submit here, now you can see this is done. Like activity till here is done. Now once the activity
revaluation result, after revaluation result இருக்குல்ல அது பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம்.
Sir, Yuvraj sir.
Yeah, sorry.
Yuvraj sir, please mute yourself.
That's okay. That's okay. Yeah. So so here, once the passion CV is done, no need to save response or edit. Tell the students to forget about it after submitting it. Close it. Now, when they go back to their platform, they have completed baseline survey, passion CV. Now, if they go back to the course content, they will be able to create their team, right? So coming back to that third step, create ventures. This is where you guide them to do the venture creation. Okay, so you have guided them how to register and onboard to the platform. You've given them the platform walkthrough. Now create the ventures, right? So how to create this venture? So here they can create your team, right? They can click on create your team. Hope I am sharing the entire screen with you, no? Just making sure. Yeah. You're able to see my Word file also, right? Now and then when I'm pulling up. All of you are able to see my Word file also, no? Till now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Just I wanted to make sure. Yeah. Thank you. So now is a part where they have to create the team. So let's say I'm making a team and my teammates are Neeraj, Salim sir, and Yuvraj sir. Okay, or 3 member or 4 member. Whoever are my team members, right? We are creating a team. So let's say Vishal is creating a team, right? Vishal is discussing with Yuvraj and Neeraj, okay, what type of startup we need to make, right? Do. Now, once they've completed module 1 lesson 1, they'll get a pretty good idea. Okay, these are the industries, this are the domain, this can be the idea that I can work with, right? They'll get some idea. So tell them to go ahead and create a team on it. Okay, venture team. It's a practice venture team. Okay, they don't need a registered company or anything. It's a practice venture. So here, what will I do? Me, Yuvraj and Neeraj will brainstorm. Okay, let's think about this kind of an idea, this kind of a startup, right? We will think, okay, so we'll say, okay, pollution is a big problem in Delhi, right? And pollution kills so many people. How about solving the problem of pollution? Especially we'll solve the problem of pollution for school-going children because they are highly affected and mask is not a good solution. So let's say we are brainstorming on these ideas and all, and suddenly we feel, okay, we'll solve this problem, right? So there, I will say, Yuvraj, Neeraj, trust me, I will create the venture and add you both to my team. Okay. So I'll tell to Yuvraj and Neeraj, I will create the venture and add you both to my team. So they can definitely upload the logo. Now, encourage students to upload the logo because it makes the venture look good. How can they do it? They can definitely do it by going to logoai.com or Canva and some simple logo. Okay. Now, company name, let's say I want to name the company Polycare. Usually I use that, right? It's because it's solving the problem of pollution, or any name they give, doesn't matter. Industry type, definitely it comes in healthcare, that kind of an industry. Description. Well, students will say, sir, I don't have very clear description. What if I give some description and then I have to change? They can make any level of changes at any time. So encourage the students to put whatever description that they can in week one itself. So let's say we as a startup are going to create nasal filters that sits in nasal orifice and blocks PM 2.5 particulate matter, whatever. Okay, so like this, right? I am not very clear about my device. I have not put detailed description about my product, nothing. What as a startup we are going to do? Website you can leave blank, ask the students to leave blank unless they have as a startup a website. Country, of course, they'll put India, city, whichever city they are from, right? They'll put it. Once they have filled all these things, now they can click next. Remember, in a team, only one member does. So if me, Yuvraj and Neeraj, all three of us are on the portal as a student, like a student, one of us would do it. Okay. And I will do it and I'll add my teammates. Okay. So I'll go and look for, is Yuvraj there in my team, right? I'll go and search for it, right? And I can add. Now you can see that there are so many students here. Let's say Darshani is my teammate. Let's say Ajay is my teammate. I can add both of them and click here, add member. Okay, click here, add member. If I click this add member, they will become part of my team. As a demo, I'm just adding them to my member team also. And you can see once I do that, my venture is created, my team members are selected, and I started my venture activity. And you can see here, venture activity happens module wise. Module 1 has 3 venture activities, activity 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. Module 2 has 5 venture activities, 2.1 till 2.5, right? Like this, there are venture activities. Okay. Now, if I want to change any of my team related information, on the right, I have this my venture option. If I click here, I can edit. For example, I can click here and change the team name, right? Company name. Let's say I'm suddenly my teammates say Air Max is better name. Okay, change it. Description, something else I want to put, right? You say, okay, not nasal filters. Okay, but also mass, right? I want to add that. Whatever, right? Changes you want to make, you can save, and that changes will reflect here. And you say now we have a logo to add. So you can click on this logo option. You can click on this pen tool, click on this upload logo option and upload some logo. Okay, that is also possible. So all these things can be done. Editing. Okay, suddenly I'll find as a student, maybe I'll find Darshani and Ajay I chose wrongly. Ajay is working well, but Darshani is not working well. So I can edit the team members. How to edit it? Click on this pen tool here and I can remove Darshani from my team. I can say to Darshani, Tata, bye bye. You go and create your own venture. Anyway, you're not working well. Then let's say Vishal and Ajay also has a breakup and Vishal says, okay, I'll remove Ajay also. I will work alone. I can do that. So I can add. And let's say I feel like I'll add a new member. I'll add Sarvesh. Sarvesh is my is cordially working with me. I'll add Sarvesh in my team. So students can do this also. But tell them to do it for 1 or 2 weeks. Beyond that, don't keep changing the teammates. Okay. Yeah. But they have the absolute authority to add or remove the team members. Okay. That option is there with them. Right. Okay. Now, once this is done, so you can see that their homepage looks like this. Once they have created their venture, their homepage will look like this. It changed. Just go to course. Now it looks like this. Vishal, start your venture journey. Now see here, as even they complete, with the moment they log into their platform, they'll be able to see this timeline. Okay. Now when they click here, go to journey, it always takes them to venture journey. Okay. Venture journey. And they have to do this venture activities. So remember, as I said, create venture is done. After that comes venture activity completion. Right? Venture activity completion. Now, again, for venture activity, right? it's very self-explanatory. How do they complete the venture activity? All that they have to do is they have to go here, click on start, and they have to do this activity. They are given clear instruction. Which problem will your startup solve? State the problem your venture team intends to solve, ensuring you do not mention or suggest any specific solution. Right? So they will type here, okay, we are, they can write in third person perspective, right? Air pollution is at catastrophic levels in most of the metropolitan cities in India, right? It reduces life expectancy, increases health care cost, and reduces productivity among individuals living in polluted areas. It compromises quality of life and gives rise to chronic health disorders in long term. So whatever I want to write about the problem, remember it is 292 by 350. Here is a character limit. Okay, so beyond 350 characters, you will not be able to write. Okay, so tell them to write this problem statement. Please share a source or some data. You know, here is a statistic. So you can say, okay, 96% people breathe hazardous air in India, right? Life expectancy in Delhi is reduced by 12 to 18 years because of high air pollution. Whatever. So these statistics I know. What is the source of this statistics? So I know it's World Bank and WHO report 2024. Now I am putting it because I have done some research on it, but students have to do some research and put these data. Okay, so they cannot write it randomly. Okay, what is your startup name and which college you are from? Okay, so you are from Bansal Institute, right? Whatever, or JPR Institute. Write it, complete it. Now, once they complete this activity 1.1, parallelly they will see that this activity is also creating their pitch deck automatically. Means the platform is driven by AI. The AI will pick up content from their platform or venture activities and create the pitch deck. Similarly, when they come to venture activity 1.2, it's a very simple. Some activities take just 2 minutes. Okay, here area they have to choose, industry they have to choose, and domain they have to use. Let's say it's medical device, right? Complete. Now, when they complete the second activity, they will see one more slide coming up. And if they want to see these slides clearly, they can click on this view slides and they'll see this first slide, second slide. So once they complete all these venture activities till activity 11.4, right? It is like problem to financial management and future course correction. Okay. They'll have a complete pitch deck, which they can go to any investor or hackathons and pitch. And they don't have to create this pitch. They have to do this venture activity and the AI on the platform will do that. Or automation on the platform will do that. Okay. And in between, they'll also have some AI tools which will nudge them towards betterment of their deck or betterment of their idea. For example, when they come to activity 3.1, they have this Wadhwani idea enhancer, which is a chat GPT driven AI agent we have built, which will talk to students like a coach, right? It will tell you Scamper to do ideation. And if you're using Scamper, put your idea and let's use different ways of solving your problem and all those things, right? So there are some tools also in between. So students, they have enough hand-holding on the platform to do this venture activity. Tell them to do it one by one and see its outcome. So when they see the outcome here, they get more encouraged. Okay, I have to do it properly. I have to write properly. Otherwise, this will not come properly. Okay. So tell them to complete this venture activity. Hope now the Fourth step is clear to you, venture activity completion and guidance. Right? Milestone release was clear to you. Now, when is the milestone release happens? So ideally, give target to students for 4 weeks to complete the first 4 milestones. So here is first 4 modules. So here is module 1. Once they complete this module 1 on problem identification, they can complete all the venture activity in module 1. That is 1.1, 1.2 and 1.3. Tell them take 1 week for this. Then tell them take another week for module 2, customer identification and need validation. Right? Here they can do lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3. This they can go through it. And tell them take 1 more week to complete that module 2 activity. That's 2.1 to 2.5. This happens in second week. Right? Same way, third week, they'll complete activity 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, 3.4, which is on solution. Right? And fourth week, they'll complete venture activity 4.1 to 4.4. So first 4 week, 4 modules and 4 modules venture activities, they complete. Once they do that, they can submit their milestone 1. They can submit their milestone 1 and you as a faculty can evaluate. AI on the platform also evaluates it. Okay. So when they submit this milestone 1, remember they can see the deadline here. So tell the students that see the deadline here is 10 September. So you can release the milestone in advance so that they can see the deadline. Got an idea? Tell them on 10 September it will close. So before that, finish submitting this milestone 1. Similarly, you can release it for milestone 2 after activity 7.2 so that they can see the deadline here. Okay. And similarly for milestone 3, they can see the deadline here. Okay. So like this, if you release the milestone 1, 2, 3, and once they submit it, on your side, you'll be able to see the submission as a faculty. Okay. So that is milestone release. Okay. So hope this milestone release is clear to you. Milestone 1, 2, 3. Milestone 1 after 4th module. Milestone 2 after 7th module. Milestone 3 after 10th module. Okay. Then comes final submission, evaluation and certification. Now, once you submit milestone 3, remember for this particular program, what is the criteria for certification is very clear. If they come to this performance tab, which is the 4th tab, now this is clear to every student. Okay. There are 3 levels of certification here. One is certificate of content completion. Second is certificate of program completion. Third is certificate of exemplary achievement. Okay. So there are 3 certificates here. Okay. Now, encourage your students to get this certificate of exemplary achievement. Now, some institutes, what they do, they give it mark also like that. Like based upon your certification, I'll give you certain marks. Like you'll get O grade if you're getting certificate of exemplary achievement. You'll get only A grade if you're getting learn, if P grade, right? Whatever. That's up to you. Now remember, this learn certificate is very easy to get. 100% mandatory content completion, 100%. So if they have this course completion 100%, right? That is this 100%. How can they do that? They have to attempt every single lesson, every single content here. Right? Once they do that, right? Every single content. Once they go through this, right? This overall progress will become 100% if they go through the entire content of all the 10 modules or 11 modules, right? If they go through it, that content will increase. That is the course content completion. Average score of 70% above in all the quizzes. So which are these quizzes and where are they? Now there's a confusion mostly faculties have or students have. In lesson 1, there's a beginner's quiz. No, we are not talking about this beginner's quiz, right? No. In each module, they have a quiz. This is a quiz 1. Like this in module 2, they have quiz 2. Okay. In module 3, they have quiz 3, right? Like this. And remember here, there's a I, which mentions that you have completed 9.6% to keep progressing, complete your all the. So until they complete the activities also, these quizzes may not open up for them, or this quizzes will also keep reminding them you have to complete it. Okay. So once they complete this mandatory quizzes, right? This quiz 1, this quiz 2 for module 2, like this, there are 10 quizzes for them till module 10. Out of this 10 quizzes, when they take up this 10 quizzes and they score 70% and above on an average in all these quizzes, okay. In performance, it will show up, you have attempted 2 quiz, 3 quiz, and your average score is this much. It will show up over here. If the average is 70% and above, and they've completed 100% of mandatory content, they get this content completion certificate. If it is 2 to 3.5, they get, that is milestone score. Remember, they're submitting a milestone which you can evaluate. That milestone is evaluated on a score of 5, right? At the end, I'll show you how to evaluate that. If they do that and they get a score of 2 to 3.5, they get build certificate. And they get exemplary achievement certificate if they meet the above criteria as mentioned, but they get a milestone score of 3.5 and above. Okay, that's exemplary certificate. Got an idea? So in a team, let's say me, Yuvraj and Neeraj are teammates. I may get learn certificate. Yuvraj may get build certificate. Neeraj may get achieve certificate also, because quizzes are also involved. Because I may do good and I may not do great in quiz, right? But he may do great at quiz, right? But venture activity, all 3 of us, once we submit, it's submitted for all 3 of us. Okay. Hope it's clear now. The final step, that is submission and evaluation and certification. Okay. So these 6 steps is what you have to give them nudges and guidance. Okay.